What up, what up? In my last video, I said that the NFL teams who were on top at the moment were going to stay on top and widen the gap. Well, in this recap video, we got to talk about what happened because I was obviously very, very wrong. What happened? What happened? No, my predictions were still all right. I was incorrect on that one. Some of the big boys fell. We have no undefeated teams left, and that's crazy. And no undefeated teams. A lot of one-loss teams, but a lot of two-loss teams as well. And it's kind of interesting to see who's been up, who's been down, and kind of what happened so far this season. So let's talk about it real quick. Why are the San Francisco 49ers and why are the Philadelphia Eagles now not undefeated? What happened? In Cleveland, to the third-string quarterback, P.J. Walker, who is probably the best third-string quarterback you could have. P.J. Walker is a stud. If you don't remember him from his XFL days with the Houston Roughnecks, man, he balled out. But as a third-string quarterback, the Cleveland Browns, you're the undefeated San Francisco 49ers who just dominated the past few weeks. Have looked really good. Destroyed the Cowboys. Come on now. What happened? And basically, look no farther than injuries and Brock Purdy just not finding his rhythm. I think we was all just giving Brock Purdy some praise. Saying he's a top 10 quarterback at this point. And I don't think that's wrong still at this point, but something just wasn't firing right. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel out. Those are two biggest weapons. But George Kittle didn't have a big game. And I got to go back and watch some more of it. But Brock Purdy's got to find the ball to George Kittle somehow. Like, that is a must. He's got to get the ball to George Kittle. And I don't know if that's Kyle Shanahan to blame. I don't know if that's Brock Purdy. I don't know if that's George Kittle. But the ball's got to go to your playmakers. It's got to get to Ayuk. It's got to get to Kittle. And Ayuk had a decent game, but especially there at the end. And it also just came down to the kicking. I mean, Brock Purdy did what he had to do. He got the ball in a reasonable field goal position, and they just missed. They just missed. Just barely. Just missed. Wide right. That hurts. That hurt. Was the defense amazing from the San Francisco 49ers either? No. Their offense wasn't where it needed to be. That you can accept that defensive performance, especially what their defense has done over the past few weeks. You really can't accept that from the defense. But the offense just couldn't cover up the slack. They had their bad game as well. So just, it wasn't the 49ers. That wasn't their identity. They'll bounce back. They'll be fine. Brock Purdy's going to learn from this one. Okay, it's okay that Mr. Irrelevant just lost his first preseason or regular season game. I mean, like, chill. Like, we're fine. No need to press any panic buttons. 49ers is still them. Just had a bad game. Now, the Eagles also came down to some quarterback issues. A couple drops in there as well. That was rough. Devontae Smith, he took blame for that. Jalen Hurts had 3 interceptions. And honestly, should have had a few more. Now, you don't have to count the Quinnen Williams one either. That was just bad luck. It was a tight end in the hands, but it was high. And then just crazy play from the defense, the Jets. The Jets are a good defense. So to have a bad game, and we watched Josh Allen have 3 against the Jets. 3 picks there as well. So it's not crazy. This offense really hasn't been humming for a 5-0 team anyway. I really think Jalen Hurts has only put together one game. Jalen Hurts is already at 7 interceptions on the year through 6 weeks when he had 6 all last year. So something's definitely off with Jalen, and we got to figure that out. It's not surprising. I feel like a lot of people thought the Eagles were going to be worse than they are anyway when they lost their offense and defensive coordinator to head coaches elsewhere. You got to expect some difficulties, and that was just one of these games. I think the Jets just showed everybody how good they really are. And that's the question we're going to ask next. How good are the New York Jets? And I think they're going to be good enough to sneak into a playoff spot as is. Plus, we saw Aaron Rodgers warming up, moving around, no crutches, no boot. Maybe there's a brace under that, but Aaron Rodgers is coming back, fellas. He's coming back, and he's coming back soon. And who knows how good he's going to be, how mobile he's going to be. But it's got to be an upgrade over Zach Wilson, right? He's not Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that's disrespectful to say Aaron Rodgers is better than you, okay? He just is. They're going to be good enough to sneak into the playoffs. And if Aaron Rodgers is playing in the playoffs, Watch out for them Jets. New York is pumped. The energy's coming back. That defense is better than ever, even with all the injuries they've had. Now, if they can get healthy, that'd be even better. That offensive line needs some work. Maybe trade for someone on that O-line, maybe? I don't know. Jets are good. I want to talk about another couple teams. Who is good? The Detroit Lions are tied for the best record in the league now. The Detroit Lions. And they have a win over Kansas City, who also only has one loss. How good are the Detroit Lions? And that question, I think, is still up for debate. I think we need to get them into a deeper part of their schedule before we can really answer that. But hey, they're humming. They're looking good. Honestly, their offenses look better than the Eagles. Their offenses look better than the Niners at times. Detroit Lions are legit. They're going to win the NFC North. Almost hands down at this point. No arguments made. All right, so they're going to find themselves in a top 4 seed. Now, are they better than the Eagles and the Niners? I think they can hang with the Eagles. I don't know about the Niners yet. I still got to see a little bit more from the Lions and a little bit less from the Niners to comfortably say that. They might be the second best team in the NFC. Keep that in mind. The Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, who we have bagged on for years, might be the top 2 team in the NFC. Now, the Buffalo Bills, they are, 4-2? But man, they have not looked good. Some weeks they look dominant, and other weeks they're just off, man. Jaguars, they're just off. Jets to start the year, ugly. Lost to Zach Wilson when Zach Wilson wasn't good at all. The Bills beat themselves. They beat themselves, and that's what I'm worried about. That's why I don't know if they're going to be a Super Bowl team anymore, right? They always find a way to beat themselves, and that's what they're doing again. The Giants, really? You had a struggle with Tyrod Taylor? And no disrespect, Tyrod Taylor's a really good backup quarterback, but Tyrod Taylor and the New York Jets, who haven't scored in a very long time on offense. That's a touchdown at least. They haven't scored a touchdown in a very long time. And if it wasn't for poor clock management at the end of the half, shoot, we might be talking about the 3-3 Bills. So, I know the Bills have a tough schedule, but that's one that they have to win. At home, Sunday Night Football, against the Giants, backup quarterback. Saquon Barkley's first game back. Come on now. And they did good against Saquon, don't get me wrong, but man. And the last thing I want to hit on today is the NFC South. Who is going to win the NFC South? I still got the Bucks. The Bucks and the Saints are going to have a little battle for it. But all 4 teams from the NFC South decided to lose. All 4. And none of them played amazing teams. The Bucks had the best competition against the Lions, which we just talked about. But the Bucks didn't look good in that loss to the Lions either. Offense was not clicking. Baker Mayfield didn't look good. And that's coming off a bye. The Commanders beat the Falcons. All right, and that wasn't that pretty. The Saints lost to the Texans. C.J. Stroud looked good, man, but he ain't that good. He ain't that good yet. Okay, chill. He ain't that good yet. And the Panthers, they're 0-6. And hey, they started off hot against them Dolphins. I got a little excited for a second. Literally about 2 minutes is all. But that's exciting. Bryce Young looked decent. Adam Thielen had himself a day, So who's going to take it? Somebody's got to seize it. I think the Saints defense is just going to be too much for the NFC South, and they're going to pull it out. But hey, don't count out the Bucks either. That's about all for my recap, though. I don't want to hit on every game anymore because not every team is really fighting. Patriots, Raiders, I don't care anymore. They're both bad. Vikings, Bears, I don't care. Vikings are just better than the Bears, who didn't have Justin Fields half the game. So are they better than the Bears? I don't know. I don't care anymore. We'll talk about them bad teams another day. Not today. But that's about it for Week 6. It was fun. I am super excited to see this Chargers-Cowboys game. Should be a good one tonight. And you already know how it went. So, I'm pumped. Tell me what you think about your team at this moment. Don't forget to subscribe for my predictions, more recaps of the NFL. Basketball is coming soon, so we'll be talking about that as well. Love y'all.